really and truly, a lot of those parents don't know. They're absolutely clueless about the park or the Common Core or whatever it is. And they might know after the fact that their son or daughter went and took a test, and they come and say, Ma, I took this park test today. The mom might say, park? What are you talking about? Some parking lot or something? Park test? You got something like that. So I think when you're talking about having a social media outreach to many of these parents, I think that's very important. Mm-hmm. In order to inform these parents about their rights. The most important thing is for the parents to be informed about their rights, mm-hmm. that you don't have to take the exam. And I tell you, Columbia is how much percent black? Was it 60-something percent? 60-something percent black?
Yeah.
I think that most of those parents should opt out from taking that exam, or any of the middle schools in this community. They should all opt out. Because I tell you, if I had kids in the school, they were opting out.
Well, we've definitely decided to opt out. Our daughter isn't, going to take the exam. She's not going to sit for the exam.
So, TJ, let me ask this question. I always tell my kids about the consequences of your actions. What are the consequences if you opt out of the park?
That's a great question, Anselm. And based on last night's board meeting, there will be no penalties. Ms. Grierson was very clear that students and parents who decide not to, take the test, that there won't be any penalties, and that there would be educationally appropriate responses to their not taking the test. So whether that means, they would be, in a room, reading or studying, working on homework for other classes. But there would definitely be a place, for them to go. That actually, again, contradicts what the principal said last week in her presentation, that, that parents could not even opt out, and that it was a graduation requirement. And so going on the most recent, update, from last night, there are no penalties. And again, this is something that when the time comes, and if we, if it's social media or, email blast, whatever, that this is the kind of information that parents and students need to know. The first thing I did today, upon entering my classroom, I put a big note on one of my boards, kind of outlining the process for this policy. And for the next couple of days, probably actually leading up until the next board meeting, every day I'm going to encourage my students to have their parents, go online, look at last night's board meeting, review the principal's PowerPoint, on the park, and listen to what the board members had to say, and encourage them to come out on the 23rd. We need a massive presence on the 23rd. But I'm concerned. Here's why I'm concerned. A very important assessment like the park are being hoisted on our kids. I say hoisted because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. And the participation by the parents of color in this community is lacking. Why is that?
I think we should answer that after this commercial break. Here's a time check. It's 8:48. This time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander. Oh, come on, Anselm. This is brought to you.
This time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants, where they implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business need. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. You can call them at 973-763-2011. That's 973-763-2011. When we come back, more park. We'll be right back.
Do you want your kid to run faster with better running form and conditioning for his or her sport? then Running Development Academy is the place for him or her. Our training packages fix their form and make them run faster. How about training to run a marathon or just run faster in your respective event? Maybe you just want to learn to run properly and lose weight in the process. Our trainers, a former 800 meters track Olympian and an 8 times world record holder in Masters Track and Field, will get you there. Don't delay. Sign up today at runningdevelopmentacademy.com or contact us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 to learn more.
For community news, sports, and opinions, call us at 973-327-3626 or log on to SoMore.org. You're listening to the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience.
Are you looking for a professional logo design for your website, brand, or business? Then we are the company you are looking for. We are professional graphic designers, and with our skills, we will design a perfect, high-quality logo for you. We work with standout concepts, nice contrasts, and color balance. Please let us know your text for use in logo, web address, color of logo that you want. We will design 3 variations of your logo for you to choose from for only $99.95, with 100% refund of your $99.95 if you're not satisfied. We provide fast delivery and professional design. We also design any size web banner ad for $35. Call us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to take your call.
Get into the discussion at 973-327-3626. This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear your opinion. You can log on to SoMore.org or give us a call at 973-327-3626.
Want to learn piano for kids? Then I recommend Wendy Goldstein School of Piano. Wendy Goldstein has been offering piano lessons since 1993 and teaches piano in a very natural way. An alumni of Manhattan School of Music, Wendy creates customized lesson plans for each student and helps bring music alive. Wendy provides you a convenient location, the best value, and the most fun way to learn piano. All ages are welcome, and the first lesson is always free. Have questions? Call Wendy at 201-207-5169.
This is the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. We want to hear from you at 973-327-3626 or log on to SoMore.org to let us know your opinion. Go ahead and advertise on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. You can reach us at 347-674-1680. That's 347-674-1680. An operator is standing by to assist you.
That one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Segregated schools were and are inferior schools. We still haven't fixed them 50 years after Brown versus Board of Education. And the inferior education they provided, then and now, helps explain the pervasive achievement gap between today's black and white students.
I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream for this.
When we take those tests, even when black and Latino students score at the top of the distribution, so even when black and Latino students do very well using the biased and absurd indicators that we use in this country, they're still 40% less likely to be put into an advanced placement class or an honors class in high school than white students who scored in the middle of the distribution. So you have average white students according to this criteria, and of course the criteria is bogus, but understand it's the one we use. Using this criteria, white students who are merely average are still more likely to have advanced or accelerated classes once they get to high school. Now, what does that mean? It means that those students are going to get more prepared for the SAT, right? They're going to get more prepared for the ACT. They're going to take the test, and they're going to do better. And we're going to act shocked when people of color do worse on a test that they were systemically excluded from preparing for, as if that is a surprise. I mean, black and Latino students of whatever socioeconomic status, 2.5 times more likely than whites to be put into remedial classes, where they're not going to receive the same instruction, they're not going to have the same coursework, they're not going to be challenged in the same way, right? And so we then act surprised when in 11th grade they take the SAT, the ACT, they don't do as well, and then our society says, well, now you're not capable of going on to college, or at least not that college, because you're not as smart as somebody else over here. The fact that the structure of the educational system guaranteed that you would not do as well, virtually assured it, is something we don't want to talk about. But that's the systemic issue.
To me, our achievement gap is largely a function of institutional racism. It's largely a function of how we do education. The overassignment of students of color to special education, that's institutional racism. It's built into the system. Institutional racism is where there's a set of assumptions, behaviors, procedures, ways of doing things that are just commonly accepted that everybody kind of participates in, but they have these inequitable results by race. Overassignment of students to special ed, students of color to special ed. Overassignment of your least experienced, least trained, least educated, most alternatively educated teachers to the kids, to students of color. If you look at a district that's very racially diverse and has middle class, lower class, all of your most experienced, most educated, best teachers will be in the middle class white schools, and the greater percentage of your least experienced new teachers, particularly brand new teachers, least educated, most alternatively certified, will be in your low income schools, particularly students of color. And that's national, and it's accepted. That's institutional racism. Overassignment of kids of color to buildings that are the worst buildings, have the worst supplies, have the worst equipment or the least equipment. Underassignment of kids of color to gifted class. All the experts say gifted is equally distributed across all populations. So if I go into a gifted class in a diverse school, I ought to see the same proportions of kids in the gifted as I see in the low track. But 90% of the schools you go into, if you go to a low track school in a diverse school, it'll be kids of color, low income, in the low track, and in the high track will be white middle class kids.
We are back with you. It's Individual and Someone Margin, the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Tonight joining us is Thomas Whitaker, a teacher at Columbia High School for over 14 years. He also has a kid in the school system. He's a language arts teacher at Columbia High School for over 14. That's I'm trying to add a 0 there, TJ, instead of a 1 in front of the 4 for over 14 years. Now, TJ, there are some pros and cons regarding the park, and one of the cons against the park is that the result does not come back until late summer or early fall. The timing makes it incredibly difficult to help students when results come back 6 months later. So, I mean, you're taking a test and you don't get a results until 6 months later. What's the purpose? You know what I mean?
I definitely know what you mean, but you're asking me to make sense of the park exam. You're asking the wrong brother. Again, I don't know what the purpose is. If the test isn't going to allegedly impact academic placement, if it's not going to impact graduation